Hi everyone. In this video, I would like to explain about Spark architecture. Firstly, what is Spark? And I will tell you. Uh, Spark is an open source framework. And see here, uh, here we can see driver program. So in the driver program, we have Spark context, right? So there is a communication between the Spark context and the cluster manager. So right, the cluster managers are launching some resources here. So and also there is a communication between these resources and the driver program. So all this architecture I would like to explain in this video. Okay, so in an architecture, so we want to do Spark submit, right? So to do Spark submit, first of all, the Spark context, let us assume it as your PySpark code, which is written in a Python language. So this PySpark code will communicate with this cluster managers, right? PySpark will communicate uh, with cluster manager, right? So now the cluster manager's main responsibility is to launch the resources, right? Here we can see two resources they launched by cluster manager, right? Cluster manager main responsibility is allocating resources, allocating or launching, whatever it is. So after that, the it will launch some executors, right? Here we can see resources called executors. So after launching the executor, the cluster manager will tell to the Spark context that the Spark context that the cluster manager have already launched resources. So you can do any your work. So the cluster manager will tell to the Spark context. So now here we can see executors, right? What is executors? Executors are the collection of resources. Understand? Executors are collection of resources. So here we can see task, catch. So this all the collection of resources is called an executor. Okay. So the executors are nothing but also a JVM. So JVM is nothing but Java virtual machines, and it is used to process the data. So then the cluster manager will tell to the Spark context that they have launched the resources. These resources have been launched by cluster manager, and the cluster manager will tell to the Spark that uh, they have launched the resources. So then the driver program. So here we can see the driver program, right? That driver program will copy this Spark code, which is here you written in the written in Spark using Python. That PySpark code will be copied into the executors. So driver program will copy the Spark code into the executors, right? Then the Spark process the data within the executors. So within the executors, the code has been processed. So after that, the blocks present in executors. Here we can see blocks, right? These blocks. So these blocks present in executors that will convert into virtual blocks. Understand? Uh, before, I mean, before processing, it will be physical blocks. Physical blocks. It will converted into virtual blocks. Okay, it has been converted into virtual blocks. So the collection of virtual blocks is called RDD. You know RDD, right? RDD is nothing but collection of virtual blocks. So remind it, right? Collection of virtual blocks is called a RDD, not a physical blocks. Okay. So now RDD means the collection of Java objects, and that RDD follows some properties like uh, follows some properties like immutable, laziness, and fault tolerance. Okay. Okay. So after processing the data in executors here, after processing the data in executors, then the records will be sent back to the driver node. Here we can see there is a no communication between the cluster manager and the executors. Only the cluster manager's main responsibility is to launch the resources. So after the process has been processing the data in executors, so then the records, what are the records here? That records will be sent back to the driver node. Here we can see driver node from executor. The records will be sent to driver node, which is processing the data. So then what does the driver node will do now? See, driver node. What are they received from the executors? That code has been sent to client. So the driver node will send that code to the client. So within the executors, this is the actual the process, how the architecture Spark architecture works. So I have explained all the process here. So first of all, there here is a driver program, right? In the driver program we have Spark context. So the Spark context will request to cluster manager that to to launch and resources. So then the cluster manager will launch the resources. So after launching the resources, the cluster manager will tell to Spark context that they have launched the resources. After that, the driver program will copy this PySpark code to these executors. Then the data has been processed in these executors only. So how the data has been processed, I will tell you within few minutes now. So these executors, these executors have been then sent back to the driver program. Okay, these executors have been sent back to the driver program. So the driver program will send to the client, so which is received from the executors. So this is the process of Spark architecture. So after this, how the data has been processed in executors, right? How the data has been processed in executors will tell all these kind of things in next video. So please, if you have any doubts, put in the comment section. I will try my level best to answer this question. Thank you.